What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sirius from the Executives View, and this is the view from on top, man. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with the execs. I do appreciate that. You guys know how I get down. If you see the show, share the show. We're all over the place, man. We on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, TikTok. We're doing big things in the places. Definitely want to take everybody along for the journey. I don't do this by myself. I got a slew of brothers that are sitting here and ready to chop it up, talk about everything around the world of sports. The homie Villain's in the building. What's going on, Villain? How we doing, sir? And he's frozen. Larry, what's going on, big dog? How we doing, sir?
Oh man, it's all good, brother. Hey man, hey, ready to what's called it? Ready to do some work, man. We got CK in the building. The boy
CK
is back.
back like crap.
The
What's up,
boy
CK?
is
How we doing,
back.
sir?
I'm stressed out right now.
It's all good. It's all good, man. Villain, are you back? Are you good now? Say less, say less, say less, man. Listen, I'm not gonna waste a lot of time. I've got a lot to talk about, and not a lot of time to get into it, man. We have had we crowned a champion in both the women's and the men's Final Four. I wanted to give you guys enough time to kind of talk about it a little bit. On the women's side, UCLA Bruins have conquered the mountain for the first time in a significant period of time and beat the brakes off South Carolina. And then on the men's side, Michigan yesterday. I guess if you're asking Villain, there was some shady stuff going on, but I'll let him say his piece. But the Michigan Wolverines conquered the men's side, man. When you look at the tournament in totality, games that were good, games that were bad, officiating, there's a lot to be talked about. Villain, what say you, man?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the officials. Like I don't want to talk about the officials. UCLA women, they're a really good team. Congratulations to them. You know, they've got the talent, they got the size and all that. So, um, they really just imposed their will on
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina. Um, South Carolina is a good team, but UCLA is just bigger, they're stronger, and they got some athletes over there too. So, congratulations to them getting their first chip on the women's side in quite a long time. Michigan again, Michigan is a really good team, really physical, really talented. A lot of athletes. They can come at you in waves. Some really. What is it? All five of their starters are transfers.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos to them for building a really good program. I think they spent about 10 million or so on that NIL team, and they really built themselves a winner. Coming back from what I thought was they were coming back when they got Jawan Howard in there,
Yeah.
and they let him go, and now they have a really good coach and a really good program that should be winning for a while. So yeah, I don't want to talk about the officials. I do, but I don't. Like, I'd rather give them their flowers. If you saw the game, you saw it. A lot of BS calls, in both games.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is, man. Like, I'm not going to use that as an excuse why UConn lost. They fought till the end, kept it close, and they muddied it up. But at the end, Michigan had just way too many athletes, and UConn just couldn't buy a 3-point basket in the second half.
Yeah.
That really
Yeah.
that hurt them. They were doing everything they could, and they were down by what 5 at halftime, but they kept
Mm-hmm.
it. They kept it within range, and
It was an
I think
arm's
what was
distance for sure.
yeah, I think they had scored like what 48 points a half,
Mm-hmm.
and they limited them to like 33. So they did everything they possibly could, and they just couldn't get past it, couldn't get over that hump. So, but it was a
Yeah.
good game. The Illinois UConn game was a good game too. I was really shocked that Arizona got taken back behind the woodshed and got beat
It was a
really
beating.
bad.
I didn't expect that either. Yeah.
I didn't expect that from pillar to post, from start to end. It was a beatdown. So, the only thing that stopped it was halftime.
Mm-hmm.
It was that bad. And Arizona's a really good basketball team. So,
Yeah.
the one thing I just saw from the tournament is, and me and Larry and I talked about it last week or the week before that. I feel like the traditional Cinderellas are pretty much gone. It's NIL, and it's the big schools that can pay for these kids to get them in their program. And you're gonna see Cinderella get one win maybe, but they're not gonna make a deep run. I don't think you'll see that for a while. So, that's the wave of basketball right
I feel you, man. I mean, I think that a lot of what you said there, um, is something that we can chew on for a minute. When you start talking about Cinderellas and things of that nature, that's kind of what makes March Madness what it was. Like nobody knew who the hell Steph Curry was until Davidson went on that magic carpet ride. You feel me? And so many different others that kind of make a name for themselves in the college game. Doesn't say that can't happen, but to your point, NIL and things of that nature, it's going to be very difficult to put together. Man, Larry, talk to me, big dog, man. Tournaments come to a close. What did you like? What you didn't like? I mean, obviously, about how you guys got bounced.
I mean, it was some good games, dude. And like Michigan, dude, there aside from the referee, dude, Michigan couldn't hit a shot either. And I just think Michigan was just too big for
Right.
them. Yeah,
Yeah,
they was too big,
yeah.
too many athletes. Like that's really what it came down to. And I always mess his name up, but they center. Oh my god, that dude.
That
That dude was doing work.
7'10" dude.
Mara,
Yeah,
right?
that dude
Yeah,
doing
that's a
work.
big boy. That's a big man.
Yeah, that's a big boy.
Mara, is that
Hey,
Mara, right?
I they say his name, but yeah,
Yeah.
that dude was doing work.
Yeah.
I think they was just big.
Yeah, there you
Mara,
go. There you go.
yeah. I mean, you know who I feel bad for. I feel bad for Reed. It's like, dude, you play for both squads and come out with no championship.
Tough.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah.
Hey, but he got UConn there. I can't lie and say he didn't help get UConn to the game. But it's like, dude, yeah, you play for both squads and don't come out with a championship. But yeah, like I said, I thought it was some really good games. The Arizona game, I actually thought they fought their way back, considering Michigan jumped on them early. That's what helped Michigan to me. They jumped on them early. They got up like 20, and
They just hung
then
on.
yeah, and it was just it was a uphill battle from there. Um, like I said, I don't want to take nothing away from them. That UConn and Illinois game was actually really good. Uh, that was a hard fought battle, but you start to see these teams. You have to have a combination of the three. You have to have good recruiting, bring in a couple of freshmen. You have to hit that transfer portal, but then you have to have a couple of guys that do stay in your system. And you see all four teams that got there had that combination of all 3. So we'll see what happens. I'll be honest with you. I think more so US. I don't want to take nothing away from UCLA, but I think that South Carolina, they still had a little of that UConn hangover, especially with all the BS after the game. And that game that game could easily been a 40-point blowout. Easily.
Yeah.
But no shade against UCLA. People don't forget they only lost one game all year. They was a really good team. Really, really good team. It's just I've never seen a Don team.
That's what I say. Yeah.
I've seen a Don team get beat, but that was more of a beat down. And that was more the egregious thing to me.
Well, I mean, villains in the chat. I mean, last year that same South Carolina team lost to UConn, and it was a 20-point drubbing.
Yeah, but that was a 20-point drubbing, dude. UCLA could have easily beat them by 40.
Yeah,
I felt like they held that. They let their foot off the gas a little bit, like just a little bit.
Yeah, that could have been way worse, way worse. And yeah, dude, it was a beat down. But hats off to UCLA. Barry, hey, your teams, they showed up. They couldn't get across the finish line, but they was there. They was in the dance. We'll give them their props too.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Hurley gets a lot of flack and all that, but he's built something special at UConn, and I hope he keeps it going. But like Michigan deserves all the credit. You know what I mean? They played, like you said, they were bigger. They were pushing guys around. A lot of those weren't getting called, but they were like imposing like their physicality and really, just anything they wanted, putbacks. That was what was killing them, because you're right, they weren't hitting shots, but they were getting second chance rebounds by imposing their will down low, getting position, pushing guys out of the way, and getting putback shots. That was the difference. That was really the difference.
And they was making every shot hard for UConn. Every shot was not an easy shot. So yeah, I don't want to take nothing away from them and say it was the refs. I'm gonna say they did what they were supposed to do, because unlike y'all, UConn could have got blown out. I don't know if y'all really knew it. It was like maybe like 9 minutes left in the second half, That was what
They were
11.
Again,
by
Michigan can
13.
hit a shot. So
Yeah, they was up by what 11 or 12 or something like
Mhm.
that.
They were by
They coulda-
13, I thought, at one
Yeah,
point, right?
13. Yeah, I know it was somewhere up in there, but they could have easily extended that. But UConn fought back because that game could have easily got out of hand. Very easily.
Mhm.
I mean, Caravan hit some shots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And kind of
when
kept
we
a
needed
minute,
you to.
and so
Well, I think Mullins hit a couple threes and kept it close. And
yeah.
then once we finally got ball back on the court, he was able to provide a little bit of a lift. You know, him being in foul trouble really hurt. I text one of my friends. I have a lot of UConn friends, but I text one of them. It was actually happened to be his birthday, and he was like, "What do you think about it? Like ball? It's like he's got to play, and he's got to play big. He's got to hit shots." And he was playing well until he got into foul trouble, and that killed him. That hurt. You know what I mean? A lot of guys were in foul trouble, but
Yeah,
that one
yeah.
really hurt because he's a difference maker when he's hitting shots. So
You feel me? CK, talk to me, big dog, man. First of all, welcome back, man. We missed you. Final four, both men and women, has come to a close, man. What say you, big dog?
Well, I mean, I remember saying in the group chat that Lauren Betts was going to be a problem, and I had people telling me I didn't know what I was talking about. Whatever. Both of the championship brackets ended up exactly how I thought, which is I had UCLA winning
Mm.
and I had Michigan winning
Mm.
because I thought Michigan was the best team, and I thought UCLA was the best team. Lauren Betts is a problem. There is nobody in women's college basketball that was as good as her, and the growth that she showed from being a freshman, having all kinds of issues with self-image and everything else, and playing for a coach that instead of trying to work with her, kept basically putting her down, to having a coach now in Close, who built her up as a human being, which allowed her to really blossom as a basketball player.
Yeah,
That's the best story out of this tournament that nobody's talking about. This is a young woman who went from hating the fact that she was 6'7", okay, walking around slouching, trying not to be 6'7", to embracing everything about herself as a player and as a human being. That's honestly, that's why I was rooting for UCLA. South Carolina didn't have anybody that could stop her. They didn't. They do, but she's not ready yet. And that's the young lady Tornabees. Next season, that young lady's going to be a problem. The 6'7" girl from France. She's going to be a problem next year. Next year, she's going to be a problem. But this season, and yeah, a little bit, 2 years in a row, South Carolina played somebody that they really wanted to beat in the Final Four and then lost in the championship game. Yeah, it's a little bit of a hangover, but they also played better. The team that they lost to was just better. Last year's UConn team, that was a magical team. That team was just magical. It is what it is. This year's UCLA team, they want a magic carpet ride. They were. Everything clicked for them. Everything clicked for them. Everything. So I wasn't surprised at that. Dawn will be back. She'll be back in the Final Four next year. Is what it is. Olivia Edwards is going to be.
Gary.
Listen, Olivia Edwards just decommitted from Tennessee. She will be in South Carolina because that was her final two, and she went to Tennessee. Michigan, yeah, that's great. I don't see Michigan repeating. I don't see them repeating. It is hard to capture that type of unselfishness and closeness in consecutive seasons because most of those guys are going to be gone. And you can go in the portal and you can do all the evaluation. You don't know how people are going to gel together until they get around each other. This was just a magical season for Michigan. You know, I can't stand Danny Hurley and UConn, so I ain't saying nothing nice about them. Hate them. Glad they lost. Hate everything about them.
Hate.
Exactly. Come to UConn, bro. I don't wish nothing nice for UConn. But they had a good team. They went as far as they could go. And I disagree with the whole Cinderella thing because look at the teams that got to the Sweet 16, Elite 8, and Final Four. We'll go. Illinois is not a major power.
They're a Big Ten school.
Yes, they're a Big Ten school, but nobody. Okay, listen. Let's all be honest here. When you talk about major players in college basketball, tell me how many teams you got to go through for you to get to Illinois.
Illinois went to the Elite Eight last year.
When you talk about big time programs, we start talking about the big time programs we expect to win. Illinois is not even talked about in the top 10. Let's be honest. Nobody's talking about that.
They're not a mid-major. What I mean by a Cinderella, I mean like a mid-major that can make a run. Like Illinois is a Big Ten school that was Elite Eight team last year, and they got a whole bunch of athletes. They got like they got freaking kids from
They
overseas
went
that were
overseas and they
professionals.
did all their
Yes,
recruiting.
Yeah,
yes, that's what it.
they're not a Cinderella by any stretch of the imagination. So
There is.
that's what I mean. Like when I think of Cinderella, I think of like Siena, Santa Clara, George Mason, like those type of schools. You know what I mean? Like I don't see that. I don't see those teams making deep runs anymore. Well,
Okay, what
hopefully it changes. Hopefully it
I'm
changes.
saying, non-traditional big time teams. Illinois is not one of the teams that you talk about. Some of these teams that made it are not teams that you normally talk about. Yes, there might be in the Big Ten, but Illinois is, listen, bro, the last time Illinois had teams as good was the 90s. The 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And before there was
But
Lou
I'll still
Henson,
contend they're a major conference team. That's what I'll
because
contend.
you're in the
It's
major.
like
Okay. Indiana
it's
was,
like
But like, look, but
no,
I
it's like
look at
Coach
it like
said.
this. Like I look at it like this. Like look at like the team that you liked in football, Vanderbilt. They're an SEC team, but would you
but they're still a
consider them a
Cinderella.
Cinderella?
They're
Like
still a
they
Cinderella just because they're in the
they got
SEC.
they got that SEC money. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
but every team doesn't use the money that's available to them, because some of these teams are more interested in athletics. Northwestern is a Big Ten team. If Northwestern was to make a run to a national championship, that's a Cinderella team. I don't give a damn that they're in the Big Ten. I don't give a damn, because that's
Man,
not a
it's
team
like
that's traditional
I
power.
kind of see his point
yeah,
though,
but
Dylan. I mean, I kind of see his point a little bit.
no, it's like Coach said. We get the Cinderellas that we didn't expect, but they still
Right.
Cinderellas.
There you go. And that's what I mean. The teams that you don't expect to get there are the teams that I mean. And he said Texas. Nobody expected Texas to get as far as they did. Nobody.
They're non-traditional Cinderellas. That's what we're gonna call them.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
can
we can
agree with
call it
that.
that because Texas got that oil money. You can't
They
convince me.
got that. Yeah, they got that. Yeah, they got that stupid
I
money.
don't give
You know,
a damn.
nobody
I
thought
don't
they
give
was
a
going to
damn. They an 11 seed, man. They got that oil, but they got that oil.
I mean, hell,
Oh,
St. John's.
Oh,
St. John's got the Sweet 16. First time we got those Sweet 16 in forever. That's like
Yeah,
us
that's
winning
because
the
St. John
championship.
sucks.
Okay,
ha!
maybe so.
No, I'm just
But
fucking
we
with
won
you.
the Big East title. But that's what
I,
I'm saying is you now have the ability for teams that we don't normally see win. Even though they're in major conferences, they're usually at the bottom of that conference. So we're starting to level the playing field. Yes, the mid majors. I mean, hell, Miami of Ohio, if they hadn't got screwed over with their seeding, let's be honest, probably would have went a little bit further than they did. They got screwed over with the whole
They were
season.
supposed to be that good. They were ranked. They should have
Well,
won.
yeah, okay. They weren't ranked because they were in the MAC, but that's a whole other conversation. We'll just derail
They
this
should
whole
have
thing.
won if they were that good. You know what I mean?
My whole thing right now is I'm looking at the transfer portal, bro. Tennessee needs to go ahead and let Kim Caldwell go, because her entire
I was
team
gonna
left.
touch on that too.
Her entire team left. And Iowa State, listen, I want Audi Crooks to go to a UCLA or South Carolina. I want her to go to a real team with a real chance to win. But this was a really good tournament to me. It was exciting. There was a lot of good games. There were shots made. There were shots missed. You can always talk about the officials, but to me, overall, on both sides, this was the first time for me, probably in 15 years, that I enjoyed both the men's and the women's tournament. It's been a long time since I can say that about the men's tournament. Because the men's tournament, let's be honest, has been trash for a little while. The past two years, the men's tournament has finally lived up to where you knew who guys were before you even watched the tournament. About 4 years ago, you're like, I don't know who's on any team, because it was all one and done.
Correct.
So I like the tournament this year.
Before we
I'd
lose,
like that for the last 4 years because UConn's been, that team.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, bro.
I love you too. I love
Cool
you
story.
too, man.
Thanks for
Come on,
sharing.
man. You gonna give you don't have to give us our flowers, but you're gonna acknowledge
I will
UConn.
acknowledge
you
that
know,
we
Barry,
won.
look,
I will acknowledge that we won the Big East tournament, that we were number one. That's what I will acknowledge.
Yeah, and you couldn't beat Duke.
you know, Barry had already counted both of them championships. You know, that's the problem right there. He already had both of them in his mind. He was like, about
Six.
to
We
win
got
men's
6. How
and
many
women.
Duke got? How many Duke championships I got?
And I'm saying you already counted. We about to have men's and women's again, and
I
I'm
know.
like,
I was counting.
yeah, I ended up with a just for
Listen,
participating trophy.
I mean, I told you guys I didn't think UConn would get out of the Sweet 16. So to get 3 extra games out of it was, just a great in itself. So, I'm happy about that. But yeah, I agree with. I think it was a good tournament this year for the most part. It's all I always love the tournament, man. There's just something special about it. There's
It
always
is.
something special about March Madness. So,
It's the
um,
kickoff for
you know,
spring, man.
hmm
Everybody like it's just a beautiful thing.
yeah, and
I
it
can't.
leads into the Masters, leads into
Yeah,
spring, opening day for
yeah,
baseball and all that stuff.
exactly.
So, it's
Spring,
I
it's still
can't.
snowing up here, bro.
That's crazy
great.
work. That's crazy work. I
It is
can't leave
chilly
college
here.
basketball without talking about North Carolina hiring Mike Malone. I mentioned it in the chat that I was gonna have a little bit to say about it. I say my thoughts for last. I'm gonna go in reverse order really quickly. CK, talk to me, big dog. North Carolina has hired Mike Malone to be their next head coach. Man, what do you think about it?
I'm not a fan of it. And his father was a head coach for the Knicks for assistant coach for the Knicks for a really long time. I like Mike Malone as a human being. He's a good guy. I don't like him as a coach because he only has one club in his bag. And that is to beat down his team, beat down his team, beat down his team. That works for professionals because they get paid ooh gobs of money and they can't leave. I don't know if that's going to work with kids. And I don't see where he's changed. And I don't, even when he left Denver, he said, "Oh, I wouldn't do anything differently." Really, bro? You wouldn't do anything differently. You wouldn't do anything differently. So, as a head coach in a vacuum, it's a good hire. He did assistant coach at college back in the '80s, Providence, and somewhere else. I can't remember the second team, but he was at Providence, Big East, and he was in a man. I want to say maybe a Big Ten team. I
Mhm.
don't quote me on that one, but I know he was at two schools, 90s maybe 90s 2000 somewhere in the neighborhood. So you make connections. He still has connections. I want to see who his GM is. Um, I want to see what staff he puts around himself. So in a vacuum, it's a good hire. But if he is still the same Mike Malone that coached in the NBA, it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well. That's the only thing about it is I would love to believe that he's changed. I don't think he has. And listen, with the way these kids will run out the door at the slightest provocation, I don't know if they're gonna put up with a cat screaming at them all the time and calling them names. That's why Kim Caldwell lost her entire team in Tennessee. Because every press conference she had, she put her team down, said it was a team fault, they suck, they this, they that. She always said they. Mike Malone has a habit of saying they instead of we. So that's what I'm gonna listen for with him. That's all I got.
I can respect it. Larry, talk to me, big dog. Mike Malone's hired at North Carolina. A guy that you're gonna have to see a couple times, and that Tobacco Road rivalry, man. Where'd you head at?
I mean, I hope he fall on his face. I just hate to say it like that, man. Look, hey, you could hire Mike
You
Malone,
hate to
Carl
say it like
Malone.
that. You love to say it like
You could have hired the mailman Malone. You could hire whoever you want to hire. I don't give anybody get on that road. I'm gonna fall on his face because it's a rival. I mean, it almost remind me what North Carolina's doing. They wanted pro coaches. I mean, they hired Bill Belichick. They went and
Mm.
hired Mike Malone. We'll see how it works out for him, but I could, as long as they doing bad, I'm all for it. I was actually kind of shocked that they moved that quickly with a hire, though. That was my thing. I thought
I'm
they were
not.
going to do more of a process to try to, look at some more candidates, but it was just like I think they checked into like two other candidates, and they was like, "Oh, Mike Malone, yep, bring him in." I thought they were going to be more thorough,
Mm.
who they would bring in, and then I definitely thought they would bring in, quote unquote, a Carolina guy,
I did
somebody with
too.
some Carolina roots.
I did too. Yeah.
Yeah, I really thought they were going to bring in somebody like that. But like I said, at the end of the day, I hope they fall to hell, and I hope all things in bad in life happen to them.
Villain, talk to me, big dog. Mike Malone hired as the new head coach at North Carolina. Man, where'd you head at, big dog?
Um, I actually like the hire. I think he is a good coach. I know his style might not be conducive to college, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know if he'll change, but that's not my problem. I ain't
Mm.
gotta play for him.
Yeah.
I think he wouldn't take the job if he didn't understand the gravity of it. It is a blue blood, and that his style has to change. I think he got humbled a little bit in Denver,
Yeah.
and I hope he learned his lesson from that experience. You know what I mean? So I'm not surprised that they moved quickly, Larry, just because like as soon as the season's over, it's portal season. You got to get on it. You ain't got
Mhm.
time to wait on trying to find the right coach. You know, players, especially for North Carolina, they can get freshmen and all that stuff, but the portals is just as important, especially for them. They need to build this thing up right
But
away, so they
I
can't
mean, but
waste
that's
no
like Duke. But that's like I had a conversation with my homeboy talking about Duke. Duke don't get portal players.
time.
When
No,
when
because
the
you got
last time
McDonald's over there
Carolina
But
to
got a
get one
but
and done.
Duke is
but
different. Duke doesn't
when the
have to
last
get
time
portal
North
players.
Carolina got a good portal player?
But wouldn't that make a difference? Like that could help them get some experience and got some bodies in right away, right? So it's
Yeah, but
like
if
like
if you
like
ever
Unc we said, right? Like wasting your money on these 5-star kids at Kentucky that don't do worth a damn. Maybe it's time to get a experienced player in the portal that can give you a little veteran leadership. You know what I mean? So why not try it like that? So, but it's important to get it done quickly because not the portal is where my head's out. That's how UConn builds up some really good players.
Mhm.
But you got to
I mean,
get
there's
on
some big
these
names in the
freshmen
portal right
too.
now. There's some big
Huh?
Yeah,
names.
you got to get recruiting. You got to get the program started. So,
Yeah.
and I think people for one. I think Kenny Smith mentioned it last night. Mike Malone's daughter plays at North Carolina on the volleyball team.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like he's not outside the organization, but he walks around in North Carolina blue. You know what I mean? Supporting his daughter. So it's not too far out of the realm of him being like an outsider outside the family hire type thing. So but it is technically an outside the family hire. But I like it. He's a good coach. He is a winning coach. I think Unc, you're right. He is a good person. Hopefully he can just adjust. He has to be able to adjust his style to fit college and fit these kids. But if anybody could do it, I think it's somebody like him, a veteran coach that will know how to win. And it's not like you're stepping into Illinois. You're going to North Carolina, man. You got to put in. You got to do the work. You know what I mean? So
I think for me, as a resident Tar Heel fan, I was pleasantly surprised because I, for one, was actually preparing myself to do a video today after the season was over about candidates or whatever, and they beat me to it. Um, I didn't want to go with the alumni retread. We did that with Hugh Davis, didn't work out too well. I didn't want to go on Stackhouse. I wanted somebody outside of the box, and so when names started floating around, I'm thinking Calipari. I'm thinking the dude from Michigan. I'm thinking the old Vanderbilt, the old Virginia coach. His name escaped. I can see his face. His name escapes me. I'm thinking those type of guys. Who coach who coach Villanova?
Oh, Jay Wright.
Jay
Jay
Wright.
Wright. Yeah,
Jay
Jay Wright.
Wright. Jay Wright ain't never coming back, man.
But
Nope.
that's who I'm thinking of. That's who I'm fantasy
That's
booking.
who everybody was talking about. If you
Right.
weren't gonna go outside.
And so out of left field, Mike Malone's name starts to percolate, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not even thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? I figured he would be in line for one of these up and coming NBA jobs that's going to be available.
Nope.
Um, and they pulled the trigger on it. And so, to Chandler's point, he was not really good communicating with his players. And so, how is he going to walk into a living room and sell a young man on coming to his program? Joker's not coming with him. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray's not coming with him. So how's he gonna sell an individual on the program? And I had to take a step back. I think Villain, you mentioned this a little bit ago. His pedigree speaks for himself. You know what I'm saying? You've coached at the highest of levels. You won a championship. You you've been to the mountaintop. And you're playing in the AC, you're coaching in the ACC, And you got to deal with what you got to deal with. I'm gonna give him a shot. To be honest with you, I'm gonna give him a shot. I'm not fully, huh?
You don't have a
Well,
choice.
well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't, I don't. But on the same token, I'm not gonna come on here and generate videos bashing and hating on the guy. I
Yeah, save
just
that for Unc or for Larry,
Yes.
what I'm saying.
right?
But I just honestly feel as though we needed a fresh voice, a new voice. I feel as though we may need an adult in the room. And I feel as though Mike Malone can potentially be that adult that's in the room, man. I can't wait to see what happens. There's 7 players that were on North Carolina's roster that have announced their intention to hit the portal. All low level guys. There's some guys I'm looking at the portal now. Donnie Freeman from Syracuse is available. Dude averaged 16 points a game last year for the Orange.
So he's not going to stay with McNamara?
No.
You know, guys, interesting.
I have a question,
Yeah.
and it's a serious question because you guys do this all the time, and I don't understand why you do it. I really don't. So I'm being serious. I'm not trying to be an a-hole here. Guys like Malone, Tom Thibodeau, they keep getting jobs, and every single time I say this when we do these shows, it's not going to work because he hasn't changed. And every single time y'all say, well, we hope that him sitting out. These guys don't change. They are who they are. They say all the right things in the interviews. Yes, I've changed and I know what to do now. And they inevitably turn into the same guy that we always knew. That's the reason nobody was trying to hire Mike Malone in the NBA. No one was checking for Mike Malone in the NBA because Mike Malone is who he is. They know that.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing to answer your question. If Mike Malone wasn't meshing well with the NBA, okay, and we all understand the man can coach, he can coach, then why not go to the college level and elevate a program?
No, it makes sense for him, but it doesn't make sense for the school because if he's the same guy that left Denver, it's not going to end well.
Hey,
But
CK,
that's
I'll
it.
say this.
That's it.
Yeah.
He's the same guy. Like,
Let-
you know what I mean? Yeah.
But you know what? This is where I'm kind of leaning toward you, Aaron. He's a really good X's and O's guy, and if you're gonna be one of those guys that's hard on your players, berate them, stuff like that, you're much more better to do it at the college level or the high school level than on the NBA level. Because let's just be real, we all heard when these guys get to the NBA level, they are quote unquote adults, spoiled babies, the whole nine, and
Right.
and they don't like to be coached hard.
Right.
You can get away with coaching hard and being a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, remember, I'm a Duke guy. Krzyzewski is known for berating players.
I mean, Dan Hurley does it all the time.
Yeah, have you ever watched Dan Hurley practice?
Dan Hurley he gets transfers who are older and been through kind of the grind. That's where the whole transfer portal, the conversation we were having comes in because in order for Mike Malone to win, honestly, I believe he's going to have to hit the transfer portal in North Carolina.
Absolutely.
But you can coach guys harder in college than you can in the NBA.
Absolutely. One thing, that I'll agree with you on that. Like, you talked about it. Like, Malone might be one of those guys, but Thibodeau is definitely one of those guys. Mike McCarthy is a pathological liar when it comes to saying like, I changed. You know what I mean? Like, this dude come in with he would wear a Green Bay hat to a Cowboy game if he could. That dude's a liar. You know what I'm saying? But like with Hurley, he said it like it takes a special kind of kid to want to play at UConn, and it's not like you got to be an athlete or 5-star. You got to be able to be in his program. He doesn't go out and say, "I'm going to get this guy because they're a top guy and they're going to fit into my program." No, I think Malone has got to find guys that are going to buy into his program and his style of coaching. Yes. And if he can do that, that's why I think he'll be successful. So, like, Patino's an asshole too. I'm sorry, Mom.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mom.
No, he is.
But
He is, but
he
gets
is, but
guys
he
who
gets
want their coaching. Right.
exactly. He gets guys that want to be coached like that. And like me personally, I've never played organized basketball, but I've played baseball and I played football. I appreciate a coach that
I
yelled
do
at me.
too. I do too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I appreciated bosses that yelled at me, cussed me out in front of everybody because
Well,
I
it's
knew
about
it came from a
accountability.
place. Yeah,
You guys appreciate being held accountable. I'm the same
Mhm.
way.
exactly.
And that's why he has to be able to evaluate whether these
Mm-hmm.
kids are the type of kids who can handle him, which means it's not
Mm-hmm.
going to be a lot of these prime freshmen at North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And will the fan
Mhm.
base and the boosters be okay with that series?
I
If
think they
they're
will
winning, I hope
because
so.
I think
But
they
I'm just
will
saying, if you're
because
gonna,
it's going to lead to hopefully results on the floor.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but if you're gonna coach
But
anybody hard, it's gonna be them.
here's the deal: if he's doing all that hooting, hollering, yelling, fussing, and cussing, and we getting blown out by 45 to Little Sister of the Poor, then they're gonna run his ass out of there.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
But if you win it, and like I think it's he can be a lot like Danny Hurley on like
Yes.
Danny Hurley came in there and yelled and screamed, and then they were getting bounced out in the first round and stuff like that. And he was just like, "Be patient, get your licks in now, because when we start winning, you ain't getting it." And
Right.
I know, Unc, you're near Connecticut. I'm in Connecticut. I'm from Connecticut, just like I ain't from New York. You from New York. I mean,
That ain't gonna
but
never die,
like we
bro.
want. I love Unc. I love you, Unc. But like we were ready to run him out of town.
I
Like
know.
we were like, what the hell is this? Why did we hire him? Where can't we get Kevin Ali back? We wanted Kevin Ali back in the worst way.
Mhm.
But I knew he was a good coach because I remember him at Rhode Island and I seen him be a good coach. But it's the system. It took a couple years to get the right mix. And once he
Right.
got a guy like Caravan in his system, then it started to trickle down. And I think that's what Malone could do at North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how it all takes out, man. I'm pleasantly optimistic. I mean, I'm looking at some of these guys in the portal now. There's some
Who are the big names in the portal other than the kid from
All of the
Syracuse?
kids from Kansas. All of the kids from Kansas.
Yeah, can't,
Well, one of them's going pro, right?
well,
Thompson's
yeah,
going
the
pro, right?
Corey Bagduga. I butchered the name. He declared for the NBA draft.
Yeah, but he
The
also put his name
Wisconsin
in the portal.
guard, the Wisconsin
He put his
guard
name in
John
the book.
Blackwell. He's in the portal
Yeah.
right now. Let's see, another guy. He's not really big. Matt Abel from NC State.
Yeah, but
The Wash-
in the right system. In the right system.
Mhm.
so there's some
There's
guys that
some
are in the
players
portal.
There's
But
some
the thing
players in
is,
the portal.
the thing is the Michigan point guard from yesterday who was in North Carolina transferred.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And now he's the national champion.
And
Because
he's going to the pro, right? He's going pro.
he
Yeah.
definitely
I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't. If he has some eligibility left, because I don't think he's ready for the pros. And see, that's
No,
the
I
other
think he
part.
can. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Barry.
No, I was just gonna say, like, from what I saw from him in the tournament, I think he's tough, but I think he's got a couple things he can work on. I think his ball skills can use a little work. I think defensively he can play. I think he can play defensively, but that's not enough. So
I mean, Cardo. I mean, he led Michigan with 19 yesterday. So I mean, I think also I don't think he's ready based off of yesterday. But I mean, if you watched them all tournament long, he
yeah.
a legit point guard. You know what I'm saying? I know
I'll
squad
tell you,
used to
I'll
that
tell you
season.
North Carolina should try to go hard after. I don't know if he'll leave or not. No, somebody needs to go get Andre Stojakovic. Some big time program needs to go get that kid. That
Where's
I
kid's
he
think
at?
he was better. I think he was better when he was coming off the bench.
I did tell him.
You know?
But he's
Yeah.
gotten better every year. He's not ready for the NBA yet.
No, he's not. He's not.
But he's gotten better every year. The right program gets the right big time program gets him and lets him blossom and teach like a Mike Malone, right? His dad played in the NBA, so he's used to being coached. Because trust me, his dad done coached him hard.
Oh yeah.
That's a kid that say if North Carolina was able to get him, would be able to flourish under Mike Malone.
It's funny.
That's
He's a
like,
different player than his dad, right? Like his dad
Little
is
bit, little
he's
bit.
more athletic. He's more athletic,
yeah.
but he's still a damn good shooter.
He's a slasher though, right? He's not a guy like a spot up shooter. He
No,
slashes to the basket. He
but
finishes
he has
really
the ability.
well.
He has the ability to shoot. It just needs to be brought out.
Mm. But ever since they moved him to the sixth man, that's when he really started to blossom. You
Mhm.
know what I
Right,
mean? So
right. Because it's less because he wasn't being asked to do as much. So now let's
right,
ask him to do more. You see what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait,
Moving right
no,
on.
wait. Hold up.
What?
I know me how I am. Are we gonna sit up here and talk about coaches, and we not gonna talk about the bullshit that Gino did? That's not how
No,
we
Oh,
roll, bro.
I was
That's not
hoping,
how we roll. That's not how
I
we
was
roll.
hoping we would talk about that.
Yeah,
Can I
bro.
lead
That's
off
not
with
how
what?
we
I
roll.
mean, here's the thing. Dawn
Can I
Staley
lead?
said today we need to turn the page. They reached out, they apologized, whoop de whoop. We all know what Gino did was dumb, was stupid, all the things. I
but
mean, if you want to talk about it, Larry, go right on ahead.
here's
But
the
like,
thing,
No,
Sirius. Here's the thing. He has a tendency, once a female coach beats him in a big game more than once, he suddenly has an issue with that coach.
well,
This is a man who had an issue with Pat Summitt.
may
yeah,
she rest
big
in
time issue with Pat Summitt.
This is a man who had an issue with C. Vivian Stringer.
Mhm.
This is a man who has an issue with Muffin McGraw. This is a man who has an issue with Dawn Staley, Muffin McGraw. Name a big time women's coach that has beat him more than once. He had a problem with him.
And there's not a lot of those coaches, right? Because he's dominated so much.
Dominated.
Like
Yeah, I mean,
when
he
he
has a
does,
losing record
when
versus
he
Dawn.
yeah, but like when he dominates so much, when he starts to get beat a little bit, he gets to be a little salty. He's a sore loser. I love
Mhm.
Gino. He's a great coach. He's an all time great. He's
He's
a
a
sore
terrible human
loser.
being. He's a terrible
I don't
human
think
being.
I don't think that's true.
I can say
I'll
that
disagree with.
if you
I don't listen. I don't know him personally. Everything I've seen from him is contrary to that. I just think he's a sore loser, and I think he picked the inopportune time to show his ass. And the apology it wasn't
was
genuine. It was
BS.
inauthentic to me,
It was
and
BS.
I was like,
It was bullshit. It was bullshit, bro.
it was definitely inauthentic. It was written for him, and I think Don deserved better than that. And I hope, like, honestly, you're not gonna fire him. There's just no way.
Look,
But like,
hey, he playing around. Dunn was about to dust his ass. Like he
that's
playing
what I
around
mean. Like,
some
dude,
way.
like there should be some kind of repercussions for that
Dude,
because I'm tired of the act. Like it overshadows how great of a coach he is by how much of a bitch he acts like. So
but then the crazy
that's what I'll say.
But here's the
the part
thing.
that pissed me off was he tried to lie on Dunn too. Dunn, the video, she walked and greeted his entire staff, and then you try to lie.
didn't see
Bro,
that.
Well, yeah, but
dude.
I think she was barking. She was barking during the game, but like, so what, dude? Like, really, that's what you're gonna get salty about? Like,
Dude,
come
They
that's
on,
say
man.
being
they
competitive,
say
bro.
that, not the fact that she didn't shake his hand. Like if you was pissed off about the
Yeah, don't
barking,
yeah,
Bro.
they say that.
don't make up stuff in your mind to justify you being a jerk. Like
Yeah.
that's
No,
what you
and then
were.
see, dude, do you know what the even weakest part about it is? Rebecca Lobo had to come out and say, "Oh, he reached out to her personally." Why in the fuck you didn't reach out to her personally, dude? Like, come on, I'm not buying that, bro. I'm not buying
And you
that.
know, and I'm not a big Diana Taurasi fan, but like even she called him out, like on the side. Did you see her? She was underneath the basket, and
Yeah.
she called him out. She's like, "Yo, that's messed up." Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not a big Diana Taurasi fan, like personally, but like,
I don't know why.
even
Donna
she
Cross.
said something.
But here's my problem. See, you reveal who you truly are. Gino Auriemma has told us who he is multiple times. He's told us who he is multiple times. Because Gino Auriemma came up at a time when they thought only men should be coaching women's basketball because women couldn't coach women's basketball. He's always had a tendency to try to put down great women's coaches, which speaks to a lot about his character for me. I can't say it for anybody else. I'm talking about for me. You're telling me a lot about who you are, by how you act when things go wrong, when things go bad. That's when you show me who you really are. Not when things are good. You show me who you are when things go bad. Pat Summitt went through hell getting that Tennessee program to be looked at as a legitimate basketball program. Not legitimate women's a legitimate basketball program. You had a problem with her. See Vivian Stringer, black woman, right? You had a problem with her. Again, in a time when mainly men were coaching women, because women weren't thought to be able to coach women. You got a problem with her. Martha McGraw, Carolyn Peck, the list goes on, bro. The list goes on. You keep showing me who you are. But I keep hearing, oh, but. Everything after but is BS. Everything after but is BS. Oh, Gino's a good coach, but. Gino, well, you don't see what happened, but. Miss me with but. He's shown me who he is multiple times. And now he put it on display for the whole world, but we're still saying but. Let's take the but out and acknowledge what it is.
I think the biggest thing, the reason why the but is there is because it's Gino.
No, because they won. If they weren't winning,
again, that's my point. It's Gino. It's UConn. If this was, name that other school. If this was Clemson, you know what I'm saying, or whomever, then he would get dragged for it and dragged repeatedly, or she would get dragged, whatever case may be. But because it's Gino,
you should get dragged even more, dude. This was on a national stage. Yes. Like, come on, bro. Come on. He should be getting dragged way more than what he's been getting dragged. Because,
but again, Dawn took the high road.
He should be, but he won't.
He did.
He should be, but he won't because he's.
Dawn took the high road. She goes, "I'm done talking about it. He's reached out. We talked. Just turn the page." So Dawn is like, you know what? I'm tired of answering questions about it. Again, such class by her. You know what I'm saying? Even after the fact, you know what I'm saying? She did.
But in that moment, Dawn looked like she's about to go Jersey on it.
Dawn was about to pull out. She was about to pull out her switchblade, get the Vaseline, take the nails off, and about to go hard.
North Philly came all out of her. North Philly came out.
And she definitely deserved it. I wouldn't have been mad if she did. Like man. Listen, I don't have the power to drag that dude, but if I could, I would because it's out of pocket and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. He does have that tendency, like especially like interviews and stuff like that. He'll speak his mind, and so most times he's right, but then he gets a little bit out of pocket, and you like, yo, man, shut your mouth, man. So I don't really appreciate that.
You are not the arbiter of women's college basketball. I get that you've won a lot. You don't get to decide what happens in women's college basketball in the vacuum, bro. You're not the king.
No, he doesn't. But a lot of things that he does say advocating for women's college basketball, he is right about too. Like we talked about it, Larry and I talked about the discrepancy of like with the women's amenities and stuff for March Madness compared to the men's. Like he highlights that. You know what I mean? Like so, there's sometimes like that's what I mean. Sometimes you talk and you listen. That's I think is the real crux of it. When he talks, you listen because he has that cachet. And sometimes he says stuff that, you know what, we need to listen to it because Coach REM was talking. But then like stuff like this is like, yo, shut your mouth, old man. You know what I mean? The time that's when time passes you by. You need to shut your mouth.
You can't with Gino, you can't take the good and exclude the bad. Like if Gino's Gino, then Gino's going to be Gino.
You know what? That's what you did with Bobby Knight for years until he started losing. You understand?
Exactly. That's the point. Once Gino starts losing, now you want to drag him. Like everybody waited until Bobby Knight started losing to start complaining about his methods.
Exactly.
But they didn't talk about the fact that how many players that played for Bobby Knight turned into criminals? Very few. How many of them did have successful lives after basketball, whether they played pro basketball or not? Very few. How many of them didn't graduate? Very few. Right? Now, does that mean that he was some kind of saint? Absolutely not. He was an a-hole the entire time. He was an a-hole the entire time. But now we want to do 500-page think pieces, right? Now that he's losing. I don't want to wait till Gino starts losing to do the 500-page think piece. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to wait for that.
It
Let's
ain't
say
gonna
it
happen.
Right.
now. That's all. That's all. Let's just say it now. All right. Don't because it's kind of like don't kick them when they down. If you got a problem with them, say it now.
But I bet you there's a whole bunch of wait on them to get down so they can start a whole lot of kicking.
Bro,
A whole lot of kicking.
Computers right now. They was hoping to they were dusting it off when that happened with Dodo. Ooh, I'm about to get out, man.
Ooh, that's gonna be good next week. Moving right along. We are at the tail end of Major League. We're at the tail end of the NBA season. I wanted to touch on this Milwaukee Buck thing, man, with Giannis and everything.
Oh my God.
The NBA has investigated the Milwaukee Bucks for mistreating of Giannis. You know, we talked about it a little bit in the group thread. I wanted to bring that on tonight before we start talking about, you know, playoff season, whatever. I got two Knicks fans sitting here, so I'm gonna let you guys go to work. Villain, talk to me, man. Giannis, Milwaukee. Why didn't I make the deal?
Because he had to give it a shot with Cat.
Yep.
Just had to give it a shot. You were NBA. You were in the Eastern Conference Finals with Cat. Give it a shot, right? The worst you could do is wait until his value goes down in the off season and pick him up for less. It's essentially what's going to happen. I think the whole investigation is a joke. It's just trying to save face. I think they're trying to save face with, you know, like, oh, I'm healthy enough to play, and they don't want to play me. Yeah, you don't play me because we want to trade you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know the name of the game, you know the rules. You know what I mean? Like, this is like the Mac. You know the rules. Your beat shows me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, you could try to save face and look like you don't want to be traded out of Milwaukee, but everybody knows you want to be traded out of Milwaukee. You asked for it at the beginning of the season. Don't act like you didn't want that girl when you've been following her all year. Like, come on, man. We know you don't want to be there no more, and you have every right to ask for a trade. You just don't want to look like the villain, like Kevin Durant asking for a trade, or you know, like anybody else that asked for a trade. Like, come on, man. You can't do both. You can't look like the good guy and ask for to be traded. You're gonna have to eat some crow on this. That's the name of the game. So, miss me with this whole thing, man. I don't care. Like, I'm laughing more about Doc Rivers dragging his team
Yeah.
in a players only, you know, film session than this whole crappy investigating what? Investigating what? You make like you said this morning, you make the rules so that these guys they don't play 60 some odd games, they don't get postseason awards. We know why, because you don't want to pay these dudes. So don't act like, oh, now you're doing you're doing a service to the league by investigating the Milwaukee Bucks. Come on, man. So for who? For who? You doing it for who? For us? Miss me, man.
CK, talk to me.
I don't want Giannis anywhere near New York. He is not.
I'd rather have him than Cat.
I'd rather have Cat.
After all that,
I'd rather have Cat. I would rather have Cat because there's room for growth in Cat, and Cat understands who he is, and he's not 75 face. First of all, the reason you're complaining about Milwaukee not playing you because you want to play with your brothers. That's what it is. It's not that you want to compete. It's not that you want to help them win. Well, I want to play with my brother. Your brother's a bum. Both of them are. The only reason they're on the team is because you're there. Let's start with that. Okay? So you came out and trashed the organization because they wouldn't let you play with your brother. Now, we killed LeBron. Kill LeBron, and I'm no LeBron stan. We kill LeBron about Bronny. It's 75 Antetokounmpos playing for the Milwaukee Brewers. Okay? His brother, his other brother, his uncle, his nephew, Auntie TT, grandmama them, mama them, they're all playing for the Brewers, Bucks. All right? So miss me with, oh, I'm ready to play. First of all, if the medical staff don't clear you, I don't give a damn what you say, bro. Medical staff ain't cleared you. But you made this public because you wanted to play with your brother Alex, not because you wanted to win. So I don't want him anywhere near New York. You have done everything you can to say, I don't want to be traded, but you keep going to owner and say, hey, I want to be traded. It's not going to fly in New York, son. It's not going to fly. Secondly, you can't stay healthy. You can't stay healthy. Tell me the last full season Giannis Antetokounmpo played when they won a championship.
We won the chip.
Since then, every time you fall, oh my God, you Anthony Davis 2.0. The wind blows.
That's nasty work.
That's crazy, right?
Don't put that evil on him, Kong. Don't do that. That's not nice.
Bro, look at his track record. He fall down, he get up, he grabbing something, and suddenly he out for 17,000 games.
That's 17,000.
He said Anthony Davis.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is a kid from a small town. He's from a small country. He's a guy who belongs in Milwaukee. But now he's starting to smell himself. He's thinking, I'm bigger than this. No, you're not. You're not built for the spotlight, son. You're not built for any of this, because if you were, you would have already been traded. He's the reason they didn't trade him. Because it got out that he wanted to be traded. So, I don't want to be traded. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't want to be traded. Is there somebody you want in your locker room that when the heat comes, suddenly he's like, oh, I didn't say that. Bro, we all heard you say it. We know you went to the owner. And now suddenly, I don't know what you're talking about. We all know somebody like that, whether at work and a person. We all know that guy, right? He talk all this smack, and then suddenly in public, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't say that. Bro, you just said it. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say that. His recording wasn't me. Is that somebody you want in your locker room? There's a reason they keep talking about the lack of leadership in the Milwaukee Bucks locker room. There's a reason for that. There's a reason they had to import Drew Holiday and what's the other guy? The guard, the big guard. We helped them win the championship. Middleton.
Yeah, Chris Middleton. Yeah, he was.
There's a reason they had to bring those guys in for leadership. Leadership. Giannis Antetokounmpo comes to the Knicks. He's the biggest name on the Knicks. He's expected to lead. He ain't built for that.
I don't think that's gonna happen in New York. I think
Bro,
you
don't know Knicks fans. You don't know Knicks fans. Once you come to the Knicks, if you are a name, you are expected to be. Let me see how I can say this. Name whatever deity incorporated that walked on water. Okay? So I don't want to insult anybody's religion, but y'all understand what I'm saying. Barry, you know this. You coming as a big name to the Knicks. You supposed to, oh, you got to be lead. You got to do this. You got to do this. You're supposed to be captain. That dude ain't none of that, man. He's none of that. This is the KD conversation all over again. For years, I kept saying, we keep asking KD to be something he's not, a leader. Every organization that brought him in, oh, he's going to lead us to the promised land. No, he's not. You have to bring in a bunch of other people to lead. Giannis Antetokounmpo, KD, same guy.
I think him in New York will work. I think if you pair him, like some people doesn't need a change of scenery. Some people need to be uprooted and planted somewhere else before they actually blossom and do what they need to do. This marriage in Milwaukee is doomed for divorce. I mean, there is no way that this gets any better. And so, where does he want to go? Maybe for the cheap or whatever. Sure, send him in New York, get him to New York. You know, and now the Knicks really don't have an excuse. Like you kind of got one built in now because you wasn't expecting Boston to come back and do what they need to do, but now you really have no excuse. And so we will see, man. Larry, talk to me, big dog, man. Giannis, this situation has gotten messy. All sides.
I mean, it's going. We all know where it was going to go. And he's the first superstar that we've seen these, dropping tea leaves. I don't want to be traded. Why you mentioning anything about trade if you ain't want to be traded? You know what I'm saying? Dude, you ever had that conversation with somebody and you be like, man, I wasn't even talking about that. You brought it up. Yeah, bro.
Mhm.
It
Put
was
money on your
already
mind, big dog.
yeah. It's like, dude, come on, bro. But I mean, hey, let him play with his brothers. Let him get them couple of games in. I'm okay with it if he gets traded or not or stays because that's just the new reality of the NBA that we live in. I mean, guys, you know, think about it. While you brought up AD, he was okay in New Orleans. Then he signed his big contract, and you know what he did right after that contract? I think I wanted to get traded to the Lakers. You want your money. I mean, you want your money, then you want to get traded. And that's just how these guys are. They want to, like you say, ring chase. They want to, be in the limelight. The only thing I would say is that if I'm Milwaukee, I want a king's ransom for him. And the Knicks, y'all may have to get another team involved, just to get him. And I
I
think
don't
that's
think
gonna that's gonna probably bring down the Knicks some because you're gonna
Yes.
you're gonna have to give up a lot to get Giannis.
Everybody.
He's not even a free agent where it's like, okay, either we lose him for nothing or trade him now. He's still under contract. So yeah, dude, I don't see the Knicks acquiring him without either getting a third team involved or giving up a lot to get him, which at that point does he really make your team, better?
Nope.
So that's where I would go with it. But yeah, all these dudes do it, and I'm like this. I look at it twofold when it comes to these league awards we talked about. These playing these so many games. Yeah, the owners was like, oh, you know what? Y'all costing us money because y'all want to play when y'all want to play. So I'll put this in and I'll cost y'all money because you know who wants to go and watch a game that you had all in your mind and you thought these superstars were going to play and you looking at these G leaguers.
But Larry, it
Like,
was the organizations that was doing it. That was the coolest part about what the NBA did. They slid this in there under the guise of, oh, we want to get rid of load management. It was the owners who were load managing.
yeah, but these guys are doing it too. These guys, they miss games for pinky nails out of whack or stuff like that. Or, oh, hey, I don't feel like I should play back to backs and all
They
this
ain't complaining. They complain just as much that they have to play
yeah.
back to backs and all that other stuff.
If you notice, now the only reason why they complaining is because it's costing them these awards that's hurting their money. When it wasn't tied in, these guys wasn't complaining. You had your Embiids and all these dudes. Oh, I don't want to play back to back games. It's too much on me. Oh, I don't travel, world class and stay in 5-star hotels. I miss my bed. Like, come on now. Come
But that
on.
was the beauty of it, Larry, because the players didn't even realize they were the ones getting screwed. That was the beauty of it.
Right.
But you know what? And Uncle, I'll go even further because we the two oldest on the squad, right? This is how I don't side with these players so much because when did it become a issue of guys not playing? Now,
Winning money.
no, but
Gambling.
no, go back, dude. Because I remember the '80s. The hell, I remember seeing Larry Bird playing 75 games with a bad back. 80, you may miss a game here and there, but you could tell that dude probably had about 2 muscles in his back that he could use and still was going out there. You seen guys who regularly they took it as a badge of honor to play 80 games.
Yep.
These guys nowadays they don't take it as a badge of honor to play 80 games. They take it as a badge of honor that I put up 48 shots to score 22 points. That's
I got to show my new sneakers at the All-Star game.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the man because I averaged 22 points on 47 shots.
Yep.
They don't take it as a badge of honor to, hey, I played 80 games. I mean, Bridges is probably the only player that's like, yeah, I take it personally to play every game. Now, do he want to play every minute, every game? Because Thibodeau was winning? No, but he takes it as an honor to play every game. But a lot of these guys, they have it. I call it this young mentality where, and Unc agree with me. I don't want to play, but I want to get paid.
Bro,
and that's what they let the owner screw them at.
What do we say? You got these kids now that go to a job and talk about, I want my paycheck now. It's Monday. It's Monday. You ain't even worked 8 hours. Okay, yes. I want my money. You ain't earned a damn dime. You want 40 hours pay on Monday. Yes. Man, listen, you better get away from me.
dude, I didn't like I say, it's probably I didn't been to pretty much every superstar that I wanted to see them play live. I would be pissed if I grew up nowadays and I'm like, oh, you know what? I want to go see Miles Bridges and I want to go see all the Villanova guys that's on the Knicks. And it's like, oh yeah, by the way, these three of them are sitting out tonight because of load management.
And you
Like,
just spent $1,000 to take your kid to the game.
yeah, bro, I'll be pissed because and I'll go even further. I'm a Rockets fan. You know how many opportunities we used to get to see Michael Jordan play?
2.
One.
No, that's right. 1. That's right.
One. He came to town one time.
Yep.
I was able to see him 3 times in my lifetime, but he came one time. I would be pissed if I played because the money was the tickets was crazy high. I would be pissed if I had one opportunity to see my favorite player play, and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're low managing tonight. By the way, he didn't travel with the team tonight because we're on a trip and we're coming right back. We don't want to extend his minutes.
He going to Vegas like Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, like I would be pissed. I would be mad if I spent my money for that. Or
and
like
Michael Jordan took pride in that. He never did that. Kobe took pride in that. He never did that. So.
It's crazy. It's a lot of stars that took pride in that. It's guys that you could go back and like the AC Greens or they still played 80 games. Like you rarely.
AC wasn't doing much anything else.
No, he wasn't. But I'm just saying, he had. But you ain't have to worry about him being there. And I'm one of the big people that I believe availability is the best contribution you can have. Being available.
The best ability is availability.
It's the best ability. And like these guys now, they made it an issue. And I don't want to go into my old man rant, but they let the owner screw them over because of what they were doing. They didn't make it an issue. Just like they don't make the NBA All-Star game an issue. They turned it into a mockery. They turned the slam dunk contest into a mockery.
Oh my God!
They've done this.
We ain't going.
But they were so stupid, Larry. Like they only saw the dollar signs in that deal. Like, oh, if you play it, you get All-Stars, you get a super match, you get all this money. They didn't read the fine print.
Yeah, but they let themselves get screwed over because of the antics they was doing. So I don't feel sorry for them. I don't
feel sorry for them. I thought it was a masterstroke that the NBA sold this to people as we're gonna get rid of load management, but in reality, it's like you said. Oh, y'all want to get all the money? Here you go.
Don't want to show up.
Here you go.
Don't want to show up, dude. This is the craziest thing to me, dude. The dunk competition used to be the highlight of All-Star Week. People used to want to see the game, but that was the highlight, right? You show up to the game and your 5 pounds of jewelry on your neck and your fur coat and your entourage, but you are not dunking in the dunk competition. If I was the NBA, I'd be like, man, how can I sell this as my masterpiece to the weekend when you guys don't even compete in it?
How do they sell those tickets? Seriously,
the dunk contest was how you cemented yourself as a true superstar. If you got into the dunk contest, you were a superstar. Nobody knew who the hell Larry Nance was, bro. Everybody, to this day, Larry Nance, the dunking guy. Larry Nance wasn't some great, fabulous player, but that
Hermana wasn't no fabulous player.
Oh my God.
Dude, Hermana got mentioned in so many rap songs. You know what I mean?
Sabonis was okay. He wasn't like that.
As J.R. Ryder, you understand what I'm saying? There's names that people know of cats who had a cup of coffee. Which Barry was it? Brent Barry. Brent Barry. People know the name Brent Barry. They don't know who the hell he is. They couldn't pick him out of the lineup. They know his name. Hey, that was some white guy who could dunk. That's how you cemented yourself in NBA history. And now I gotta watch Mac McClung.
Mac McClung is amazing, but the guy that won last year.
I don't want to see
that novelty act.
Yeah, the guy that just won this. Nobody even know who he was. Like I said, it's like if I was the NBA, I'd be like, I'm gonna screw y'all over because how can I sell my marquee stuff, my marquee matchups? I'm signing Bear. We say it's how many big games you see? It's NBA Sunday game of the week, but this person's not playing, that person's not playing, and it's like, oh, them ratings going down. Like I said,
They
I don't feel sorry for him.
manipulated Luka's 1-game suspension so he could play in that Sunday game.
Yeah.
Which he got another tech and they had to miss the next game. But it was against the Wizards, so who gives a damn?
Yep. Like I said, if I don't feel sorry for them dudes. Like I say, the NBA, they probably gonna screw them over again on something else because they're letting themselves miss out on the money. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah,
Dog's fold.
you might be able to command more money if you can get these ratings up and we can sell more ad space, or you're not letting the NFL take over every day because we can't even sell our good games. Like, come on now. Like, I don't feel bad for them guys.
Are turning into NFL players where they're chasing money to the detriment of their sport and their careers.
Yeah. When NBA have to come out and say, oh, we need to change the format of the All-Star game. Come on. What? I would expect the NBA All-Star game to be more competitive than a Pro Bowl. I get it, because football is more physical. People don't get hurt. But we all just seen what baseball has done because baseball isn't physical. You have your stars play in the All-Star game. You have them compete to some level. You don't change all the rules because these guys really come out there and they turn into a glorified shoot-around contest. Like, no. I don't feel sorry for them guys.
I mean, it's you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like if you're legit hurt, then you know what I'm saying it's unfortunate that you miss out on the max deal and whatever the case may be. But again, to you guys' point, a lot of cats are not legit hurt.
Right.
Dude, I'll go even further, dude. It's back in the day, I've seen guys win MVP that didn't play, but they were legitimately hurt. It was like, okay, well, they only played X amount of games, but what's called it was never a issue of guys making all-star game, all NBA or MVP until these guys start load managing. That's when it became an issue.
All right, spinning around the association really quickly, man. Eastern Conference, man, we have 4 teams that have locked up spots. Everything 5 to 10 is kind of up in the air. And so that's Atlanta, Toronto, Philly, Charlotte, Orlando, and the Miami Heat. Everybody else has been mathematically eliminated from postseason competition. So that is the remaining group that's vying for a playoff spot or going to fall into the play-in. Western Conference, everything is locked up from 1 through 5. You got 6 through 10 that are still vying from so 6 and 7 vying for playoff spots, and that's Minnesota and Phoenix, respectively. Everybody else, 8, 9, and 10, are locked into the play-in tournament.
Wait. I'm sorry. Did you say Phoenix is in the playoffs, bro? Did you say that?
Phoenix right now is the 7th seed. They will be in the play-in.
So before the season started, somebody on this panel.
Something happened to his microphone.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. But go ahead.
Negro Dominus strikes again.
We experienced some technical difficulties. But yeah,
if you could only use your powers for good, like give us lines ahead of time so I can make future.
Bro, honestly, to bet on the Phoenix Suns. I told y'all. I say $10. I say this all the time. Only put $10 on it. Put $10 on the Phoenix Suns making the playoffs. Y'all talk, what you talking about? I tell y'all this stuff. I can't bet because if I bet, I lose. I tell you guys this stuff so y'all can make money. No one ever listens.
Right now, if the playoffs started tonight, there will be the 7th seed in the play-in. But those are the only 2 spots that are available: the 6th seed or the 7th seed. So they're going back and forth between the Minnesota Timberwolves for that 6th and 7th spot, respectively. Dallas, New Orleans, Memphis, Sacramento, and Utah obviously are basically mathematically eliminated.
The Lakers were mathematically eliminated like when the season started. So.
Yeah. I'm saying, what is supposed to say? They're obligated to play 82. They will play basketball games. But I can't get out of here without talking baseball really quickly, man. We got a lot of stuff going on around the diamond. We got our baseball aficionado here in the building. CK man, and I'm gonna start with you, my guy. A week or so in, what have you seen, man? Talk to me.
Chicago White Sox are going to be in the going to be in the wild card. Chicago White Sox are going to be in the wild card. I'm telling you this now. Take the over. $10. Take the over
Here you
on the
go.
White Sox. Take the over on wins.
They got talents. They got some nice
They
pickups
do.
in the offseason.
They have a lot of talent. And I like the manager. San Francisco Giants are trash. They're going to be trash. Take the under on their wins. The team I find really, really interesting right now that I think is going to have a really, really bad season. Toronto Blue Jays. They are experiencing a lot of injuries. Alejandro Kirk is going to be out probably close to a month and a half. You can't win a division or a World Series in April and May, but you can lose it because you get so far behind. Max Scherzer hurt again. We always knew he was going to be hurt again because Max Scherzer can't stay healthy. Alejandro Kirk is more important to that team than people realize. The Cleveland Guardians are meh. The Mets are going to be better than people think. Mark Vientos is something. The Jorge Polanco trade, and I said this at the time, didn't make sense because Mark Vientos is a first baseman. That's who should be playing every day. Not putting Polanco in a position that he can't play. But there are going to be some interesting races. I am unsure about the Astros right now. I think they need to make a lot of moves at the trade deadline. But I'm telling you right, the Chicago White Sox are going to be a very interesting team in the American League Central. I can see them winning the American League Central.
And Boston is trash.
Boston's garbage.
They got no pitching. Roman Anthony ain't it. That dude is a liability in left field. They cannot hit. Boston's got problems. They thought they could get Sonny Gray and patch it up. Ain't working.
Nope.
Ain't working. And Yankees, I think 160-2 will be this year.
I don't know, man. We pulling stuff out of nowhere. We was down. Again, we played the Athletics, so it is what it is. But
Oakland is going to be on the outside of the wild card race, but not by much. That's a very talented team.
We said that on previous shows, man. This is the Athletics team can hoop.
They got some young guys.
Yeah,
they got some young guys. I think they're waiting. They're just waiting for a new stadium in Las Vegas. That's all they wait.
Miami Marlins are winning the wild card. Book it. Book it.
I don't think their bullpen is as good as people think.
The Miami Marlins are going to win the wild card. Book it.
They do. They got speed. They put the ball in play, but I think their bullpen's going to falter at the end.
And that's kind of where I was going to go with it, honestly.
They're going to make some moves at the trade deadline to bolster to that bullpen.
You really?
Yes.
I don't know. I do. Okay.
Yes,
all right. We'll see. But they got some young kids that can hit. They put the ball in play and they're scrappy.
They don't strike out. A team that doesn't strike out and plays good defense is going to win 75% of their games.
That was Toronto last year.
Exactly. And how'd that work out for Toronto?
They made it to the series. Larry, talk to me, big dog, man. 2 weeks or so in, man. Astros are leading the West. I don't got to talk to you guys off the ledge.
Yeah, but we losing to Colorado tonight, man.
Oh, you should be thrown in the league if you lose to Colorado.
It's gonna be one of those up and down seasons. But I mean, Hunter Brown's on the IL already. I'm like, so we'll see. We'll see. I will say this. I've been pleasantly surprised with the Astros. I would say, the way too early. Alvarez is leading MVP. Hey, he's doing Alvarez things. Hey, hopefully.
I hate that I like him.
But he's going to get hurt. We all know he's going to get hurt at some point, Larry. So
he's a terrific player. Though.
I mean, as long as it's one of those minor ones, I'm good with that because it's a long baseball season. As long as it's one of the minor ones, not one of the extended ones. But yeah, that dude is really, really good.
Yeah,
but we'll see. Y'all see my Reds. Hey, I said I want to see what they're gonna do, man. They always start off they give you so much hope early in the season, and then they start faltering. But hey, that's a pretty good.
That's the Pittsburgh Pirates syndrome. Pittsburgh Pirates come out the gate the first month and beat the cover off the baseball, and then all of a sudden, I blink and they're 20 some odd down.
Cincinnati has too much talent. They need to put K. Brian Hayes on the bench. They do. Noel V. Marte is a right fielder. If you put K. Brian Hayes on the bench, you put Eugenio Suarez at third, everybody else falls into place. But because he's such a great defensive player, it's hard to take him off the field. That boy can't hit he can't hit. He's just like his dad. Charlie Hayes got big hits and big moments. Charlie Hayes couldn't hit, bro. He was Gold Glove third baseman, couldn't hit. His son, Gold Glove third baseman, who can't hit.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah. I mean, but it's still, even though they faltered a little bit early in the season, man, though it's gonna be hard to beat them Dodgers, bro. It's gonna be, that's gonna be a tough one for everybody.
I mean, when we did the predictions, and I asked you guys if it's going to be the Dodgers Invitational out west, and everybody was like, "Well, maybe Padres."
I said I think they win another one, but I said I think they kind of had that they give the division to somebody else because we don't really care about the division. When these teams, it don't matter what sport it is. You know how these teams get when it's like, you know what, we don't care about winning the division. We just want to be healthy for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we care about. Because once we get in the playoffs, we're good. We've seen it in football, seen it in basketball, seen it in baseball. And I think that the Dodgers, because they've had so many long postseason runs, and they got guys like Mookie Betts. And Mookie needs, I hate to say it, but Mookie needs a little load management. I hate to say it like that.
He needs to go back to the outfield. He can't be in the infield, bro. It's too much.
He needs a little load.
I like him at short though,
but he can't stay healthy.
Yeah, he need a little rotation or something. Like I said, don't always put him. Sometimes let him play in the outfield. Like I said, he needs a little load management, and they'll be fine. But I think they'll take their foot off the gas at some point because dude, think about it, they've had 3 long pro seasons.
Yep.
Yeah, 3. Yeah. At some point, you're gonna be like, you know what, Freddie, we got to give Freddie some rest too. Yeah, they probably gonna take their foot off the brake a little bit.
I mean, Mookie's on a 10-day IL now.
Yeah, but that injury, he's gonna be at least a month.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Villain, talk to me, the big dog, before we get out of here, man. Round the diamond, man. What you saying?
No, I agree with I think, but like I said, Boston. That Roman Anthony can't throw. Throw. I don't know where you put him. I don't know where he's in the shortest left field. He still can't hit a guy on the fly. Like you know what I mean? Like seriously, in Fenway Park with the big monster, he's got the shortest left field. He can't hit a cutoff man without a bounce or two. So is that bad? But and Sonny Gray is doing Sonny Gray things. Like he just needs. He's a small market guy.
Yes.
Like he is not a big market guy. I don't know why they signed him. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, the Yankees are playing some solid baseball right now. The sky's not falling yet. But how good has Max Fried been? To start the season. In his Yankee career, really, been really reliable. Cam Schlittler, we haven't had a homegrown starting pitcher like that in a long time. It's been a long time the Yankees had a homegrown starting pitcher that we got excited for. So
Pettit's the last one.
Pettit is the last one. So it's been a long time, and if he keeps the course, he could be really exciting. But you got him. Warren's pitching well. And we'll get Heel back, but then we're gonna get Cole. We're gonna get Rodon. Like the Yankees are gonna be just fine. Don't worry.
As long as y'all don't face the Astros in the playoffs.
And as long as Volpe's still recovering from his shoulder injury,
I mean, him to stay recovering.
Take as much time as you need, fam. Take as much time as you need.
Do not rush that back, big dog.
We will treat you the opposite of Giannis. Like
you need to borrow. Hey, see, Aaron knows this very well. He needs to borrow Jabari Smith's hoodie.
Exactly. Borrow the hoodie from
Yeah,
Jabari.
exactly,
Borrow the hoodie from
exactly.
Jabari.
I mean,
Borrow the
that's
hoodie,
like
dog.
if when he starts to get ready and starts to do rehab assignments, you need somebody in a trench coat walking up behind him and hitting him in the shoulder. You
There you
know what I
go.
mean? So, oh, he suffered a setback. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
That's so
So,
sad, bro.
nah,
You don't
is
like him.
he's a horrific defender. But nah, we just got to get Jazz going. Jazz is struggling out the gate, so that's
Mhm.
unfortunate. But everything else is clicking. Ben Rice is raking, so that's good to see. I agree with the Mets are going to be a solid team. I think,
Does
I
the
think
Soto
they can.
injury affect him?
Yeah,
Say what?
absolutely, absolutely. But I think it could help because I don't know if him and Lindor were getting along, so who knows? But they do need another arm. I think, right? I think they need
Yeah.
another pitching arm.
Well,
To,
because Sean Mania is now basically he's a soft tossing lefty who should come out of the
yeah.
bullpen, who thinks he's
Mhm.
still a starter. So they need another arm.
They need an arm, so I think at the deadline they'll be making a move there. We'll see. Like I said, the Phillies got to get it together, man. This is got to be their year, so it'll be interesting to
I
see
like
if
the
they can
Phillies
give the
do it, bro.
Dodgers a fight. Hmm?
Again, I mentioned this last week that Bryce Harper cloud is looming.
Yeah, it is. So we'll see how they navigate that. But it's early, very early, way too early for MVPs,
Oh
Larry.
yeah, yeah.
So we'll see, but we'll
I
see.
said
Next week.
early. I said early season MVP, man. Dude,
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
dude
exactly.
decision
way too
making, bro.
early.
Way super early.
Hey,
Let
that
me get
dude.
you.
Hey, but he put in a solid first, games, bro. Hey, that boy is That's always been the problem with him. He could have been in. He could have. I know how much y'all love Judge, but he could have been in the MVP race. It's just he keeps getting hurt.
Jordan
That's the problem.
Alvarez should have always been a top three MVP guy every year. He should be a top three. He's never had enough numbers to be the MVP, but he should always been in the top three.
Yep.
Yep. Let me get you guys out of here, man. CK, thanks for coming back and kicking it with us, man. Give us a plug to close out. You shut it down, big homie.
Adopt a senior dog. Adopt a senior dog. Once their personality comes out, you have to fight them for your bed.
Appreciate you, big dog, man. Larry, you know what to do, man. Get us out of here, big homie.
Man, always a pleasure, man. Rocking it with y'all boys. Glad to see CK back in the building. Man, look, hey, we got so much stuff cooking now, man. It's not even funny. I'm getting hyped up already. I'm excited. Look, I need everybody to start, checking out the show, liking the show, following the show, every platform. Let's get these numbers up because we got more stuff cooking, a lot of stuff in the pipe works. And it's an exciting time over on the Executive View brand. It's yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it how we going full throttle now. So like I say, I'll let y'all boys get out of here. Like I say, as always, been a pleasure, y'all. I'm out.
Appreciate you, big dog, man. I will see you on Thursday, man. Rocket show's about to be bananas, man. I can't wait for that, man. Villain, you know what to do, man. Get us out of here, big dog.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Larry's right. We got a lot of shows coming. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a Knicks show coming up pretty soon as we wind down the end of the season, getting ready for the playoffs and see who we're gonna face in the first round.
Atlanta.
Backstage business is added tomorrow. Talking some wrestling. A lot of pipe bombs went off this week, so we got a lot
Woo!
to talk about. You know what I mean? Get your rest. I'm about to get my beauty sleep because it's gonna be bananas. Yeah, man. But a lot to talk about there as we head into WrestleMania. The junior execs will be doing their show. They're super excited to do that. So be on the lookout for them. All our kids doing their wrestling preview show. So we got a lot of stuff cooking. Follow us on all our socials. Give us a like. A lot of people are getting in our algorithm. And my friends, hey, your videos come up in my feed. Well, tell your friends about it. Share us. You know what I mean? Let them know we doing these things. So a lot of fun. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Appreciate you, big dog, man. Yo, it's your boy Sirius repping that 412 and the 703, man. Such a privilege. And that's been a pleasure doing these show with these gentlemen on tonight. As everybody alluded to, man, tomorrow we're going to be back in the business, back in the building, talking everything about wrestling, man. There's a lot going on around the world of WWE, man. I cannot wait to get in there and just talk with these guys and the queen about everything that's going on, man. Thursday, Lord willing, we'll be back in here doing the Houston Rockets show, man, getting ready for the playoff push. There's a lot of stuff surrounding these Houston Rockets, man. Myself and Larry and Coach. We may have a couple guests that are going to be joining us, man. Looking forward to partnering with them. Thanks for everybody who's been rocking with us, man, and supporting us all across our social media platforms. Get in where you fit in, man. This table's big enough for everybody. My friends over at Nonsense Empty Thoughts, man, Mama's Podcast, Wrestling Show. Looking forward to continuing partnership with them. My man over at the Playbook Podcast, my man Trev. There's so many different people that kind of got their hands in the power, and we're just pushing this thing forward, man. With that being said, I always close out my shows like this. God is good, even though some people are not, man. God bless. Catch you on the next one. Peace.